Larry, moving on to our favorite, not our favorite segment, our newest segment, topics. Topics, yeah. We've got some topics for you. All right, Larry, kick us off here.
So my topic is Halo Wars 2 Blitz.
Technical test, tech test
2.
Titanfall 2.
Titanfall. Have you had a chance to play that at all, or do you intend to?
No, I thought about it because I knew you were going to talk about it, but I'm like, I don't know anything about RTSs, and I know very little about Halo in the sense of the lore, so figured I'd leave it to the experts.
Well, then I'll just talk and you can listen.
Okay. Fair enough.
Son.
All right.
I didn't mean it. All right, so I played Halo Wars, the first one, and I was not a huge fan of it. Back in the day, I loved playing StarCraft on the PC, and there for a while I revived StarCraft playing on campus at Johnson, and that was a lot of fun. And then StarCraft 2 came out, and that was fun. But I had a lot of complaints about Halo Wars. Just one of my biggest ones was you were much more limited in how many units you could have, so there was a lot less going on the screen. And there's some control things that just don't make sense from like console-wise. There are changes they had to make in order to make it playable on the console. But I think they stripped it down too much, is my opinion. So in StarCraft, things like that, you can group units together, and there are a lot of like hotkeys you can hit on the keyboard to make things happen really quickly. Whereas in this, like, you have to just scroll across the screen, and every little thing that happens demands your focus, and it makes it it gives you a lot less freedom in what you're doing. But that being said, I didn't even finish Halo Wars. So I jumped on Halo Wars 2 Blitz today, fully intent on just playing it to justify complaining about it on the podcast today, and wound up having a lot of fun with it.
So what is Blitz?
So Blitz is their game mode where they use cards. So Blitz, they've basically mashed up a real-time strategy game with a card game like Hearthstone, if you've played that. Like one of these digital card games where, you know, it's like Pokemans or the Magics but you collect cards, you build a deck, and you use it in the game. And the blending of those two elements is actually really fun in practice. You've got to, I'm sure once the game releases, they're going to wind up monetizing that, but it's actually fun to play. I thought it was going to be more like Halo 5 Warzone, where it was basically whoever had the most money was going to win. But I could see this actually being pretty well balanced, and it gives you the ability to unlock the units once you get a certain amount of energy in the game, but you really do have to play those units in an intelligent way if you're going to win.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun, that game mode in particular. It made the game itself more fun to me because there's the added layer of, it's not just build up to this point and you can unlock however many of these units you want, but there's this deck building component to it as well. Just adds another layer of strategy to a strategy game that I would argue didn't have enough strategy in it to start with.
Mm-hmm. We'll
still hold out and see how I feel about the actual game itself, but that game mode I had a lot of fun with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I never played the first Halo Wars, so I don't have a whole lot to add to the conversation. But if I'm understanding you right, like, you still have the real-time strategy stuff going on, but there's this card game that's implemented into it as well?
Yeah, so you start out with a base set of units, and then you have to hold your trigger to open up your deck hand. And if you've got enough energy to play one of your cards, you can play your card. And every time you play a card, you draw another card. And while you're keeping up with your energy and your cards, you've also got to keep up with, all right, what do I want to send my units to do? Do I need to send them to collect energy? Do I need to send them to capture a point or fight an enemy? So just a lot of stuff going on. It's fun.
Nice. All right. So you think that's something that would, like, are you interested in picking up that full game?
I am. I think I'm going to hold off to see how that gets implemented, like to what extent they monetize that side of the game, and see what some people have to say about the campaign and stuff. But right now I'm leaning toward that's a game I'm going to pick up.
Okay.